Welcome to the Adaptive Arts session number 4. Your hosts for this session are Sue Lazel and Julie Palkowski. The topic for this session is Adaptive Arts Reflections. Thank you for joining us. This session, along with prior sessions, are recorded and available within the Wisconsin Art Education Association page, Art in Special Education. This session overview includes our year in review, session-by-session highlights, and then resources that you can still use in your classrooms. As you can see from the U.S. map, those interested in the sessions are from states across the nation, including one person from Nova Scotia, Canada. There were a total of 86 respondents for the sessions when we posted these. Thank you again to those who have participated and those who are listening to our recordings. The respondents to the survey also provided us with insight into the challenges they face regarding inclusive arts practices. The top included the multiple levels of students they need to plan for, their knowledge of resources to support learners, and the opportunities to scaffold and adapt lessons to support all learners. Successful practices shared by the respondents included their findings to helpful resources, proactive collaborations with colleagues, use of adaptive tools, and trying adaptive strategies in their classrooms. Of course, these sessions really have brought together not only resources for you to consider for your classroom in the art, music, theater, or dance, but also opportunities to collaborate and share. So please visit many of the resources that we provided to you, including the Inclusive Arts Padlet. The address for that is on your screen. You can register for the Creative Adaptations Making Art Making Possible with Clients with Disabilities, facilitated by Sue Lazel. Register online to attend that, or also look for the recordings available. Thank you for watching this recording or participating in the live session. We are actually doing an overview of 4 sessions that we've been diving into. This first session that we dove into, we explored tips to start the school year. Sue, tell us about some of those highlights that we had from that session.
Well, the first 5 highlights that we're going to discuss tonight are asking students what they need, ask students about their skills, what they like to do, what they can do, identify what you have already in your toolbox with tools and strategies. Examine additional needs that you might have. Do you need some more adaptive tools? Do you need some more support and networking from other folks? And then explore adaptive arts tools for art and music. There's a ton of things that we've shared online and things that I'm sure that you've been trying in school. And so let's continue to explore those items.
Absolutely. And then one strategy that I often used with students just is simply asking them who their favorite singer or band is, and then just finding ways to incorporate positive music examples into the classroom to get them engaged. So these are the highlights we had from session 1. In session 2, we investigated building classroom relationships through Universal Design for Learning, also known as UDL. Sue, what are some of the top 5 highlights for that session?
Well, we did some art and music games. We talked about UDL, which stands for Universal Design for Learning Principles, looked at strategies for both art and music, and we discussed building positive relationships through Universal Design for Learning.
And I noticed you had some really great strategies as well.
Yeah, I think one of the more important strategies is to have all of your art and music art tools available for all your students at the same time. This offers choices for what they can use. Students that choose to use adaptive tools because they think they're cool encourage students that might be reluctant to use them because they think the tools are only for students that have challenges. But the more the tools that are utilized in the entire classroom, they become part of the entire learning environment and everybody gets to use what they need.
In session 3, we shared several resources for successful arts classrooms. So Sue, what are some of the top 5 highlights from that session?
Okay, focusing on assistive technology, we looked at both low and high tech strategies for art and music. Low tech might be a simple grip to hold on to tools, and high tech might be utilizing computer programming. We looked
Yeah,
at supports for students on the autism spectrum, as well as showed some videos from parents and classroom about success that they're having with their students in the art and music classes.
yeah, absolutely. And one of the two strategies we already investigated through this session today with a quilt art example that Sue shared, and then the drum pad example that I shared. Those are some great online tools. We also have some additional online tools and resources and ideas you can consider posted within the Inclusive Arts Padlet for more of those ideas. So please check that out. Today's session, although we had basically an overview of the past 3 sessions, we have a few bonus highlights featuring collaboration with staff and paras. Sue, what are some of the top 5 highlights for these particular areas?
Well, looking at collaboration with our OT and speech folks, inviting them into your classroom instead of doing an outside session. You might want to check with your administration first, but I
Yeah.
think that more often than not, they'd be happy to have that collaboration to see the students in a new environment to work on their IEP goals.
I think, yeah, also special education teachers are wonderful. Just having conversations with them about assistive technologies that are already being used in the classroom. Those are just really great and rich opportunities to learn more about what students are already using in their other classroom areas.
Yes, Julie, that is probably the most important. They are so key to helping you understand how you can, better support the students from information that's happening in that classroom through the IEP. Another wonderful support that we really need to do a shout out to more often are paras or para educators. I know sometimes we struggle with how they can work in the classrooms more efficiently, effectively, to both meet your needs and the needs of your students. So some of the things you can do is to provide specific ways that they can support a student when they're in your classroom. Because sometimes they don't really know. Many times they're not comfortable with art or music, actually, and don't really know what you want them to do. They see the project or the activity and sort of expect that you are just having them help them, but they don't know how to help. So sometimes ways to kind of support that is to let them know ahead of time what you expect them to do. Secondly, you can have them do their own projects side by side. I found that really works well, that they would be able to show what the student needs to do or model next to them instead of doing hand um, over hand, which actually is better hand under hand, putting the student's hand on top of their hand. And so the student can kind of direct from the top, or the assistant can come from the student's hand being moved by the individual. And I think that empowers the student and the para to better work together to increase the independence for those students.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can't, of course, forget the parents, asking about art and music interests in the home. Those are very valuable conversations to have. And then last but not least, who else should we be working with in collaborative environments?
The school administration. Many times, your principals and things don't really realize how important it is to have information from the arts and music teachers into the IEP meetings. Because sometimes the kids come to school just for art and music. I mean, that's what draws them. Or that's an area that they can be the most independently successful because 2 + 2 doesn't have to be 4 in art and in music. And the information that can be gathered doesn't have to necessarily happen at the IEP meetings, but it can happen through notes or little luncheons between the teachers or things to provide information across the curriculum so that the students get the best access to materials and activities in all the areas of their schooling. And I think sometimes the administration needs to be asked, can I have a couple extra minutes to kind of meet up with the teachers. I've got the entire school, all the students with challenges, and I really need some time to collaborate. And I think that's a huge goal in the school. And I think your administration would be excited to hear it from you that you would like to work with the school in a different way.
Just a reminder that a recording of this session will be available in a few weeks within the instructional portion, posted within the Wisconsin Art Education Association's Art in Special Education page.
Thank you again for joining us for our 4 sessions of these adaptive arts sessions. It has been so exciting to prepare wonderful materials and exciting strategies to share with you guys. And your input has just been awesome. We really hope that you've gained some wonderful ideas that you can work and share with other folks and your students in your classrooms. Again, thank you for being part of these sessions. Julie?
Yeah, thank you again, everyone. Please fill out the feedback form. We do use that to improve not only the service and support we provide to the field, but just our own learning as well. So thank you again, everyone, and we look forward to seeing you in classrooms with kids. Take care.
Bye-bye.